Playing video games is fun. The excitement of starting a new game, the rush of achieving an insurmountable task, and the profound satisfaction of finishing a particularly tough video game are moments that we all gladly remember. What's even more fun is when you get to share these moments with your friends and rediscover new facts and things that you might have missed out on. And now, with video game streaming having become so democratized, you can now share your favorite moments with the world. Contrary to popular belief, you don't necessarily need to have a PC with a billion CPU cores and a super expensive graphics card. Sure, it helps if your PC is beefy, as you'll be able to play more graphically intensive video games while simultaneously streaming it on the same PC. The most popular video games out there right now aren't graphically intensive. They're super optimized and can run on most PCs in the market. So a good processor such as the AMD Ryzen 5 3600 is more than enough to get you started on your streaming journey. And since we are gaming, we need a good graphics card. That's where the AMD Radeon RX 5500 XT comes in. It's a nice mid-range graphics card which can play most of the popular video games that you'll see on streaming services such as YouTube Gaming, Facebook Gaming, and Twitch. Video games such as Fortnite, Valorant, CSGO, League of Legends, and FIFA will easily run on a configuration built around the RX 5500 XT. Here's the PC configuration that we are going to be looking at. The key ingredients here are the CPU and GPU. And when you upgrade the CPU, you will need a compatible motherboard, unless you are already on an AM4 based board, in which case you don't need to upgrade the board. Just check if the Ryzen 5 3600 is compatible with the board and the BIOS before you plug it in. In this video, we are going to explore what can be done within an upgrade budget of 50k. Most of the other components need not be upgraded aside from the CPU, GPU, and the board. As you can see, we are not spending more than 50k for this upgrade. Once you've upgraded your machine, you might have to reinstall Windows and certainly install the updated drivers before moving on to installing all the games that you wish to stream. To begin streaming, pick your platform of choice. You can go with YouTube Gaming or Facebook Gaming or Twitch. Next, set up an account and add all necessary information to your profile. Then, head over to the control panel of whichever platform you are streaming on and look for the streaming server and stream key. You'll need to enter these credentials into whichever streaming software that you want to use. Next, download a popular streaming software such as OBS Studio. Once you've fired up OBS, it'll take you through a simple setup process using the auto configuration wizard. You'll be asked whether you wish to optimize for streaming or recording. Pick the former. Then set the base canvas to 1920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720, and the FPS can be 30 or 60. Setting it to 60 consumes twice as much bandwidth as 30. Here's a little table showing you the base canvas resolution, FPS, and the amount of bandwidth needed for each case. You might have to upgrade your internet connection depending on what configuration you wish to stream at. Then, you'll be asked to pick the streaming platform and enter the stream key that you had copied earlier. You're set up to stream now, but all that your viewer will see is a huge blank screen. To make your video games visible, you'll need to set up scenes and sources. By default, OBS Studio will have one scene. In the sources window, you'll need to add a full screen application capture. If your game runs at full screen, then OBS will capture it. You can always take the simplest route of setting the source as display capture, which makes everything on your screen visible to your viewers. Then you need to look at your audio sources. By default, all audio sources will be captured, but you should double check if your microphone is being picked up or not. Desktop audio will contain your game audio as well, so adjust the two so that your voice is clearer and not overpowered by the game audio. You can now click on Start Streaming to commence your game stream. Now, wasn't that easy? We looked at the kind of PC configuration needed to start streaming and went through the entire process of setting up OBS to stream your video games to the world. We hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to let us know in the comments section. Until next time, happy gaming!